What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sportsmafia. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 NFL trades that should happen before the 2020 season. The first to get traded should be Leonard Fournette to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jacksonville Jaguars have had discussions about trading running back Leonard Fournette since March. Now that the draft is over, Jacksonville may be able to find a suitor. The Pittsburgh Steelers could be that team. The Steelers are set to get a healthy Ben Roethlisberger back into the lineup, but they need to improve a running game that just averaged 90.4 yards in 2019, which was the 4th fewest in the NFL. Pittsburgh used the 4th round pick on Maryland's Anthony McFarland, but McFarland isn't viewed as a future star. He appears to have low-end backup potential, NFL Media's Lance Zierlein wrote of McFarland. Adding Fournette would give the Steelers a competent running and receiving option in the backfield. The LSU product topped 1,100 rushing yards and had 76 receptions in 2019. He wouldn't exactly be prime Le'Veon Bell for the Steelers, but he could do a decent impression. Pittsburgh would have to clear a little cap space to take on Fournette's contract, but doing so would help balance out the offense. Fournette, who has just a year remaining on his deal with an $8.7 million cap hit, isn't likely to command an outlandish return. Jaguars receive a conditional 2021 4th round pick that could become a 3rd rounder in the future. The Jaguars aren't actively trying to trade defensive end Yannick Ngakoue, but it would be in their best interest to do so. Ngakoue, who was given the franchise tag this offseason, has made it clear that he wants to play elsewhere. He has pushed for a trade and continues to do so. Tired of the back and forth, Jaguars, Ngakoue tweeted, "Let's get this done." The Baltimore Ravens would be a prime trade partner for Ngakoue, who has had at least 8 sacks in each of his 4 pro seasons. The Ravens produced just 37 sacks as a team in 2019, despite spending much of several games with a sizable lead. Baltimore did trade for Calais Campbell in the offseason, but they did not add an edge rusher in the draft. Campbell was acquired from the Jaguars, though, which means an open line of communication between the two franchises already exists. With just under $10 million in cap space, the Ravens would have to free up some room or sign Ngakoue to a backloaded long-term deal. Doing so would reunite Campbell and Ngakoue, who combined for 14.5 sacks in 2019. The Jaguars would receive a 2021 2nd-round pick. During last year's draft, the Miami Dolphins traded a 2nd-round pick to acquire 2018 first-rounder Josh Rosen. However, Rosen only received a limited audition to be the team's future quarterback during 2019. During this year's draft, Miami used the 5th overall pick on former Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Rosen has zero chance of being Miami's quarterback of the future. That could lead to friction in the quarterback room, and the Dolphins should try to getting what they can for Rosen while he still has some trade value. The longer he lingers in obscurity, the less interest he's going to carry. Jacksonville should gamble on Rosen's potential. The Jaguars traded Nick Foles this offseason, and while they are standing behind Gardner Minshew, they have not dismissed the idea of bringing in some competition. "We're still looking to make sure we're upgraded at each position," head coach Doug Marrone said on Good Morning Football. "There are some veterans out there that we might look at to bring in, along with the young guys we have." While Rosen probably isn't the sort of veteran Marrone was speaking of, he would provide another young alternative to Minshew should the 2019 rookie phenom stumble. At the same time, Rosen isn't established enough to push Minshew out of a starting opportunity the way that a free agent like Cam Newton probably would. The Dolphins receive a 2021 conditional 4th round pick that can become as high as a 2nd rounder based on playing time. While the Houston Texans aren't tight on cap space, they have just under $18 million. Wide receiver Kenny Stills is still a potential cap casualty. He is due to earn $7 million in 2020 and could find himself buried on the depth chart. While the Texans did trade DeAndre Hopkins this offseason, they have Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Will Fuller, Kiki Kuti, and a rookie 5th rounder pick Isaiah Coulter on the roster. Even though O'Brien touted skills as a significant reason the team gave up so much to Miami in the trade for Laramie Tunsil, flipping the receiver into a late round pick or simply cutting him to create space for extensions and post-draft free agent signings seems more realistic, The Athletic's Aaron Rice wrote. The Green Bay Packers should give the Texans a call. They lack a reliable number 2 receiver opposite Devontae Adams, and they did not add a wide receiver in the draft. Stills, who ran a 4.38 second 40 at the scouting combine in 2013, still has enough speed to threaten defenses deep and to make them pay for overcommitting to Adams in coverage. Stills could be the speedster that the Packers lack, and trading for him would show Aaron Rodgers that the Packers aren't ready to shut his Super Bowl window. Texans receive a 2021 fifth rounder. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed Tom Brady in free agency and then traded for temporarily retired tight end Rob Gronkowski. While Brady enjoys throwing to talented tight ends, this leaves the Buccaneers with a surplus at the position. The offense likely won't have room for Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, and unfortunately Cameron Brate. Tampa clearly isn't going to trade Gronk after trading for him, and the team recently exercised the fifth-year option on Howard. We're excited about having O.J. Howard play with Rob Gronkowski, General Manager Jason Licht said. Why wouldn't you want to have many weapons at that position? Brate, who is due to earn $4.25 million in 2020, could be viewed as expendable. If he is, the Bengals should pounce. As previously mentioned, Cincinnati needs to put talent around Burrow, and Brate is a capable receiving tight end. He had 660 yards and 8 touchdowns the season before Howard was drafted. With Tyler Eifert gone, the Bengals are left with CJ Uzomah and Drew Sample. Adding Bate would unquestionably upgrade the tight end room and give Burrow another proven target. Given Tampa's surplus at the position, a high day 3 pick should be a fair price. The Buccaneers receive a 2021 4th round pick. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Comment below who you think will be traded this NFL offseason in 2020. And if you like this video, please subscribe.